So the Miami Heat lost to the Los Angeles Lakers in 6 games during the 2020 NBA Finals. And I said, at the time, when the Miami Heat were heading into the finals matchup with the Lakers, the Miami Heat were going to lose the series. They were going to lose the series in 6 games. I was right. Okay, I just felt that Miami, they were a good team, but I felt they overachieved a little bit. They had a great run. They deserved to be there. I just felt that the Lakers were going to be too overpowering for the Miami Heat to overcome. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, they're a great duo. The Lakers, they had a great team. They were an experienced unit. In reality, the Miami Heat, they just weren't ready for the challenge. And, hey, they lost, and there's no shame in losing that series to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, in my opinion, But the Miami Heat's championship window, to me, is still pretty wide open, To me, Erik Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, he does not get enough credit for how good he is, okay? He really doesn't, Erik Spoelstra's won an NBA title in the past with the Miami Heat. He won 2 titles with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade teaming up. If I could play for any head coach in the NBA right now, I would actually pick Erik Spoelstra. I'm a huge fan of Erik Spoelstra. The guy's fun. He's energetic. He seems like a player's head coach, definitely. He gets the most out of his players. And he's made several runs to the NBA Finals, and I don't think he gets enough credit for what he's accomplished as a head coach, And the Miami Heat still have a very, very good roster, in my opinion, put in place. Now, teams like the Bucks are pretty good. The Philadelphia 76ers could be a threat. And obviously, now that Kevin Durant has returned to the NBA, now that he's in the Eastern Conference, it's going to be much more tougher for the Miami Heat to get back to the dance. And also, I do think the Miami Heat did benefit from playing in a bubble this past year just because you did not have to play true road games. The Miami Heat came into the NBA bubble knowing exactly who they were. Teams like the Clippers were kind of figuring things out. Other teams were figuring things out as well, like the Houston Rockets, like the Philadelphia 76ers. The Miami Heat, not so much. Not trying to take anything away from the Miami Heat. I'm just saying, now we're really going to see how good this team is, and we're really going to see if Miami can take that next step because they're probably going to have to play some true road games from this point going forward. But when you look at this Miami Heat roster, Jimmy Butler, to me, Jimmy Butler is a top 10 player in the NBA right now, in my opinion. He definitely is that guy. I would put Jimmy Butler in my top 10. Now, he's much more closer to number 10 than per se number 5, but I think Jimmy Butler is among one of the better players in the NBA right now. Definitely. 100%, In the NBA Finals, Jimmy Butler put together a really good performance. In game number 3 of the NBA Finals, he had a 40-point triple-double. When the Miami Heat had their back against the wall, facing elimination, Jimmy Butler responded with a 35-point triple-double. He was playing great defense. He went toe-to-toe with LeBron James, and obviously he lost that battle, but Jimmy Butler showed me something in those NBA Finals. He really did. He showed me he can elevate under pressure. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I love him. I think Giannis is great. He's a top 10 player in the game of basketball today, but Giannis cannot elevate under pressure, at least up to this point in his career. James Harden at times, he sometimes shrinks under pressure, Jimmy Butler, he showed in the biggest moments he can elevate under pressure. He's an excellent defender. He's going to give you 20 to 25 points on every given night most of the time. And Jimmy Butler sets the tone. He really changed the culture in Miami. Maybe not changed the culture, but he took the culture to another level. The Miami Heat went from a good playoff team to a team that went all the way to the NBA Finals because of Jimmy Butler. And how ironic is it that the Chicago Bulls have been struggling to make the playoffs ever since Jimmy Butler left them? How ironic is it that the last time the Minnesota Timberwolves were in the playoffs was when Jimmy Butler was on the roster? How ironic is it that the Philadelphia 76ers were one shot away from getting to the conference finals when Jimmy Butler was on their roster? And a year ago, they can't get out of the first round. Jimmy Butler was their closer. He meant everything to that team. Jimmy Butler sets the tone. He's a winning player. He's a guy that I would 100% want on my roster. He's a top 10 player. He sets the tone. And Jimmy Butler, he still has a lot of good years left in him, in my opinion. Bam Adebayo, He's a good young player. Bam really took a big-time step this past year. We shall see if Bam Adebayo can continue to build upon what he did last year. He's a really good young player. Tyler Herro's really good. He's young as well. Gordon Dragic, he's a good player as well. You saw when Gordon Dragic was hurt and could not play during those NBA Finals games, the Miami Heat really struggled to score points. They really struggled to put the ball in the basket. Gordon Dragic, he's a key piece to that puzzle. Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk. You just added Avery Bradley. The Miami Heat, they have a very good roster, and I honestly won't be shocked if the Miami Heat return to the NBA Finals at some point over the next 3 to 4 seasons, okay? I really, truly believe the Miami Heat are in a great position. And keep this in mind. Miami's a big-time market. You got Pat Riley. You got a great front office that's not afraid to spend some money, and they're not afraid to make trades. The Miami Heat, they will make some moves. So I really could truly see a situation where the Miami Heat maybe trade away a couple of their young players to get a superstar-level player. There actually was some reports that the Miami Heat were interested in James Harden. I do think if the Miami Heat can get James Harden to be a part of their roster, they 100% should do it. That definitely could make them among one of the top 3 teams in all basketball, without a doubt in my mind. James Harden, he'd be a great addition to that team, so we'll see, man. And now the Miami Heat know what it's like to get to the NBA Finals. Now they can really build on that. They can try to take the next step. They know what's required to get there. Now they need to work to the goal of actually getting over the top. They have a lot of good young players. They're in a great spot. I love Erik Spoelstra as their head coach. And the Miami Heat, their championship window is wide open right now as I speak today. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.